Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment, where we love pop culture. Today it's time for another Married with Children episode review. Now sometimes when business is slow, and in Al's case that's probably all the time, sometimes you have to resort to some gimmicks to bring the customers in. And in this episode, well, Al, he's gonna have a howling of a good idea as I get on with my episode review of Something Larry This Way Comes. Yes, that is the name of the episode from season 9, episode 21. Now, as usual, Peg is spending Al's money before he even has a chance to make it. And to make things even worse, well, Al and Griff are both being put on commission. So that's when Al comes up with the bright idea to have a Midnight Madness sale at the shoe store. Now here in this episode, Kelly has been making major progress at the LArry Storch School of Acting, and Kelly's got some big news that LArry Storch, who Al is a huge fan of, is actually gonna come over their house. There's just one problem. The night that he's gonna come over, well, it's the very same night as Al's Midnight Madness shoe sale. Now, while Al was very excited about this news, Bud definitely has his reservations because LArry Storch has been known to put his name on a slew of businesses that haven't done, let's just say, very well. But Kelly, she's determined to be the moth to Larry's flame. Now, on the night of the Midnight Madness sale, Al and Griff are dressed up as wolves, but unfortunately for this duo, it has done nothing to drum up any business. Now, when Al gets a phone call that LArry Storch is at his house, since there's nothing to do at the shoe store, he says he's not gonna let nothing or no one stand in his way of meeting LArry Storch. That is until the owner, Gary, comes and stops Al in his tracks. Now, after Al is done pleading with Gary just to keep his job, Gary, she's gonna put her foot down and she's very determined to turn the shoe store around and not only make a profit, but not go down the same pathway she did with other business ventures where her partner essentially screwed her over. And just who was that partner? Well, it happened to be none other than LArry Storch. Now, after suffering a mean left hook from Gary, LArry Storch, he's gonna be unconscious. Now for Al, he's gonna get to meet his hero, well, sort of, but there's a big problem for Kelly because LArry Storch is actually supposed to be performing with her that very night. Now, with no other options, it's gonna be Al who's gonna have to don the attire of the Phantom of the Opera. And here is where this episode is at its best, as we're gonna see Al not only having to try to learn his lines and cues on the fly, but he's also gonna try to keep his identity secret from Kelly. Now, what about Griff back at the shoe store? Well, dressing up as a wolf and trying to sell shoes wasn't bringing in the money. However, charging $20 for a picture with an in and out of conscious LArry Storch definitely is. Now, when I was trying to come up with a number for my final score for this episode, I was actually considering giving this episode a 6 out of 10, as I believe this episode is just slightly above average, at least when it comes to a Married with Children episode. But as I thought about it, I decided to bump my score up one more point to a 7 out of 10. And that's really because of Ed O'Neill's performance here in this episode. He is what really makes this episode really funny. Whether he's dressed up as a wolf or the Phantom of the Opera, this is definitely where this episode excels, with Ed O'Neill as Al Bundy with these two characters. Definitely the highlight of this episode. Now, what are your thoughts on this episode? Something Larry This Way Comes? Comment down below. And what episodes of Married with Children would you like to see me review here on the channel? Let me know in the comments. And guys, if you like these Married with Children episode reviews, there's a new one that comes out every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.